Critters in Taiwan.
Swept south, and we got it came around Kent and swept up, and then one of the arms swung around and hit it smashed Xiaolioqiu bad, and just the tail of that arm caught Kaohsiung and did wicked damage over here. So we got a typhoon day for that day. The next typhoon that followed in went way north, and one of the arms clipped Taipei, Hualien, Yilan, all those places. And then they got a typhoon day like a few later in the next week. So it was like 1 week apart, basically. Oh. You guys got a typhoon day a week after we did from a separate typhoon.
A week after you did?
Yeah, there were two typhoons.
Oh, okay.
First one came south, and the south half of the island got a typhoon day. Then the second typhoon went north and caught the north half of the island. That's when the north got a typhoon day.
I was starting to believe that it wasn't going to happen again.
Yeah, they weren't, but neither typhoon hit the island. It was just the arms of both of them. Like, it wasn't a dead hit, a direct hit.
Yeah.
They were
usually go through the channel
near
like that,
misses, which would be a hit.
Yep, that counts as a hit. Hey, we're online for once.
Hey, are we on the internet?
We are, man. It's been a while.
We're back. Welcome to Critters in Taiwan, a D&D podcast about Critical Role, where a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons. I am Ben and Kaohsiung.
I am barely Tim still.
Barely Tim.
I'm barely Tim. I'm so tired. Can you tell? I think I'm still jet-lagged. Just got back.
I like that word. Yeah. Jet-lagged and ready to go.
Yep,
ready to roll.
Yep.
Hey, man. It's good to be back. I'm glad you're back.
It is. We have 4 episodes we got to talk about here, right?
Well,
kind of,
and a 4SD, and a 4SD. maybe a couple of panels. I don't know if you caught those panels or not.
Oh, I didn't watch those.
I didn't watch the Candela Obscura panel. I did. I watched a little bit of it, but I didn't finish it. I did watch the San Diego Comic-Con. Well, they were both at San Diego. I did watch the Critical Role Campaign 3 panel at SDCC.
Should have. I didn't do that.
And then there was a really fun one to watch because I've been listening to Midst. I've been, because it's really good animation for it. It's really fun to watch. They're short, so it's only like 20 minutes, half an hour. So it's been fun to watch. I've been really trying to keep up with it. So they didn't do many spoilers. They did a couple of spoilers, but they had a fun little interview with the narrators, which was really cool. It was a really interesting. There were some spoilers. I should take that back. There were, because some stuff happens at the end of season 1. But it was a really fun interview. So the narrators are anonymous, right? There's 3 of them, and they're anonymous. So it was Marisha and Sam sitting on the 4SD set with an old-timey radio between them. And they have a name for it in the Midst universe. I forget the name for it.
Yeah.
Teletophonic something device, something. I don't know, whatever it is.
The
3 narrators were on the device, and they were just having a fun little conversation with them. It was really cool.
Oh, huh. Yeah, I saw a picture of that with Marisha and Sam sitting there.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was really interesting to listen to them because, sorry, just a quick little thing. The biggest thing that they talked about was that they're gamers, they're TTRPG gamers, and they've done a bunch of things, but this was the one they loved the most, and they don't really know. It's very unscripted, much like Critical Role. It's just they have an idea what they're going to do, but they do not know what direction it's going to take when they're recording the episodes. They just do it, and they're just like, yeah. And then the really neat thing, which Sam brought up as a really cool thing, is sometimes they each play the same character. So they can have different views, NPCs only. They have their own main character. But when they play an NPC, they'll sometimes interrupt each other to say what the NPC is going to do. And I was like, that's really neat. I didn't realize they did that during the show. I never really paid attention to that. But
that is unique.
Very cool.
Is it very easy to follow, like, when they do that? I'm going to have to check this out.
No, it's super confusing. The whole setup is very confusing, which is kind of why I like it. You sort of don't really know what's going on, and then something happens, and then you do know what's going on, and then you sort of lose the thread again. But Very cool.
Oh, yeah, I might have to check that out. I mean, there's no shortage of things to be listening to these days.
Yeah, man. There's lots.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff out there.
Great time to be alive. But
Do we have names of episodes? Like from
what?
66 to 69?
I do. I don't have them here. They're definitely out there.
Yeah, they are.
So tonight I'm mostly going to be talking about number 69, which I do know the title because I have it written right here.
What's it called? What's that one called? Look at all that
Episode
paper.
episode number 69.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Nice. Is it called Nice?
Yeah, it's literally called Nice.
Come on.
It's the greatest. So somebody posted this because I was going to look it up, but then on the Critical Role on the Reddit thread, somebody actually said like the first 269 episodes for campaign 1 was a real doozy. It was like it was just after the Briarwoods and things were really, really bad. So it was a nasty episode.
Right.
And then campaign 2 was
That's right. It was really moody. Yeah.
Oh, campaign 2 was the worst because it's when Yasha gets turned by Oban. They're in the king's cage and the laughing hand just gets released and they run away and it's a bad one. It's real nasty. So it's really sad. So this one was the good one. I think that's why they called it Nice.
I remember Danny being like, I was expecting some sex or some making out, but I get crying instead.
Yeah, it was a mood episode for sure. This one was a very different mood episode.
Yeah, one of the best episodes they've had so far. That's excellent.
There's a quick little thing timestamp that I wrote down, and I didn't realize what Laura was laughing about, so I had to sort of do the Timothy Tucker thing and rewind a couple of times, and I realized what it was. It's right after. Just a quick. I'm jumping in here. It's right after. It's right when they teleport. FCG teleports everybody to EOS, and they do a bunch of damage, and he heals them. Right before he heals them, I know this because Orym has 91 hit points, and the damage from the teleport thing was 22 points of damage. 91 minus 22. So he holds his tablet over to Liam, holds his tablet over to Laura, and he's like, look, nice. you can just read the lips, and Laura bursts out laughing, and there's this whole moment. They're like, what's going on? It's at 3 hours, 3 minutes, 10 seconds.
Oh, you did timestamp it.
Yeah, I timestamped it. Yeah. So I was like, that's, and then the episode comes out as Nice. I'm like,
yeah.
I see what you did there.
Fucking children.
Yep.
What I've got here, episode 66 was called Aid of the Tempest. So that must have been, I might need a little brush up here since there's 4 whole episodes.
66 was when they go to, that's when they first start going out to get the flowers.
Right, the perennium flower.
The taint flower.
The taint brush, right?
The pussy posies.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a minute. 67 was Bloody Flowers.
Yep. That's the time of the month flower. Bad.
I don't think that one landed.
It did not. It did not.
What? Why is it called Bloody Flowers?
What am I forgetting? Because this is they went and they to get them, they fought, and then they
they're still doing it.
Yeah, they're still it was like 3 episodes to go and get those. They went to get them, then they got out there in the Umbra Hills, and they
big old fight. Okay,
they're a huge fight with the demons, devils, demons. No, devils are good. Devils are not good. Devils are better than demons. They're all
bad. Did you say badder? Is that what you just said?
Better.
Oh, better. At one point he said, "Sold your soul to the devil."
Devils and demons hate each other. Just for in this universe, they hate each other.
Demons and devils, you said?
Demons and devils, yeah. From different. Demons are abyssal. Devils are hell.
Right.
Yes, I think that's right.
Hell of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a picture of Ashley on there because I think at the very end she was like, "Sure, I'll make a little deal with you, whatever that means." I guess we can get
Yeah,
into that too.
fun one.
But
Faye, it doesn't mean as much to Faye, right? They play by their own rules, so that was a really fun little moment that would have been really bad for I think most of the other PCs, but for Fern it makes a lot of sense because Faye don't give a fuck about that shit. Look at the Traveler. They're like, yeah, whatever, man. We play by our own shit. It's all anarchy and chaos.
68.
And then 68 was
for the Tempest.
for the Tempest because they arrived back in Zephyr as heroes.
Right. And they have a picture of Taliesin on the front here.
Mm-hmm.
That had me worried, like when I saw the picture of this, because I saw him and then for the Tempest, I'm like, that sounds serious. Like, was he sacrificed or something, Like,
no,
and then I watched it, and it was really short, too, fairly short episode.
Yeah, it was a shorter one, because it was, as for what it's worth, this last one was short. 69 was a little shorter as well.
69 was pretty standard, wasn't it?
4 hours, I suppose, yeah. I think on YouTube it was under 4 hours. I think it was 350.
Come on, where's the episode? Oh, it's just called Nice.
69. Nice. Listen, man, I'm going to be mostly talking about 69 because it was one of, I said this to you earlier, probably the funniest episode of Campaign 3. There was so much
easily
going
funniest,
on.
Yeah.
And the mood they were in. There's a bunch of stuff that's been like Campaign 3's been gothy, moody, serious. It's been very melancholy at times, and there's been a lot of they're definitely, again, we've talked about this ad nauseum. They're not really heroes, and in this episode it started to feel like they're actually really, really coming back together again, especially that time when the time they spent at the Airy Irie. They really started to bond again as a party. And that made me feel real good. There's lots of good times here.
Did Liam make up that name, the Airy Irie?
No, I'm fair. Well, he might have. It's possible.
I mean, like on the spot.
Definitely not.
Something else. Oh.
There's no. That would be silly. So this is one of those moments again where, like when they went to the Feywild and Fern went to Nana Mori's house, and Fern knows where everything is, but the other guys don't. So this is like a conversation that Matt and Fern have, or Matt and Ashley have, and this was a conversation that Liam and Matt would have had about what Orem knows about this place.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely would have been made
is there a spa here? And then he says like, yes, and it's called,
Well, that moment is definitely, you don't know everything, but there probably is a spa.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when it's still Keyleth.
Yeah, when that's a really fun thing, eh? Like they're traveling with Keyleth now, and this is Marisha's character, and it's sort of you don't have ownership. As soon as you retire that character, it's Matt's, so it's an NPC now. So it's really fun to watch Marisha sort of like go through those phases where she's got to separate from that after playing. That's I'm guessing, like I don't know about the other players at that table, but I figure Marisha's favorite PC that she's played is Keyleth, and I don't know if
that's a hard one.
She liked Bo a lot. I think she liked Bo. I think they go in order. I think it's Keyleth first, Bo second, Laudna third. I don't think that's quite the same with all the others. I think I think Yasha would I think Ashley would say that Fern is her favorite. And I think Laura would say that Jester is her favorite. And I think
I'm agreeing so far.
Liam might choose Caleb as his favorite.
It's tough.
That's tough. He might say
Caleb.
Vax. He might say Vax.
That's a toss-up.
Yeah, he loved Vax. But listen, he loved Vax because of how OP Vax was at the end. Like that boots of speed and wings and dagger and all that nonsense with the boot. He had too many items. Too much stuff. And all the sneak attack and stuff. He even a lot through campaign 2, he was constantly commenting on how much he missed having a rogue. So I think there's a little bit of that, but I don't know.
What's Sam? Because he had.
I think Scanlan is always going to be his favorite.
We got Scanlan. We got what's his name?
Terry and Darrington.
We've got the Goblin.
Yeah,
and then
Not,
we've got
and then
Veth.
and then Halfling. Veth.
Yes, we've got Not and
and
Veth.
Now FCG. I think it's gonna go. I think he's probably gonna go Scan. I think he's gonna go in the actual order.
I think so too.
I think he goes Scanlan, Not Veth, FCG. Maybe Terry and Darrington last. Maybe. I don't know.
He was pretty fun though. I mean,
he was pretty fun. Yeah, it was fun. He really leaned into that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Like I do think Ashley's favorite character, because with Ashley it's not really fair because she was gone for so much of campaign 1 and campaign 2. So the last bit of campaign 1 and the first half of campaign 2. So it's who knows. With Travis, I think it goes. He's played a lot, right? I think it goes Grog, Chetney, Ford. And with Taliesin, I think it goes. I think Taliesin goes Percy, Caduceus, Molly, Ashton.
I'd probably switch Molly and Ashton there.
Maybe. I was thinking the same thing when I said it, but maybe. Not sure about that, but anyway,
I think Molly put him out of his comfort zone quite a bit.
It's hard. It's really hard to pick favorites for other people. Yeah. We really shouldn't be doing it. But
it's fun to think about, though. I mean,
yeah, it is. It is. But where this originally came from was I enjoy watching Marisha watch Matt play Keyleth.
Yeah, it's a fun. It's a fun dynamic to see Matthew take it over, and
yeah,
the relinquish of the characters,
Yep.
It's easy to forget sometimes that that it used to be Marisha's character because Matthew's just doing it so seamlessly.
Yeah, very well. It's fun to play an Arch Druid. It's got to be fun to play a level 20 Druid.
Yeah.
I basically do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
You can't hurt me.
You live forever. You got a million hit points. Yeah. Hey, should we get in some rollies here?
I have a dice.
Yeah, I've got a die here. Yeah, I've got some here. I got
a couple of things to say.
The course of 4 episodes. I don't know which one's from which episode, but I don't think that matters. It's all in the same.
This mic makes has a smell when I plug it in.
When you plug it in?
Yeah, it makes me a little nervous.
It
has like a. It has like a. It sort of smells like a 9-volt battery, like a little. Anyway, I got to think about it. Let's roll dice. I got a natural 1.
I've got a nice little 15. All right, which one am I going to start with over
Buttercup.
here? Am I going to go evergreen? Am I going to do something worthless? Let's see. Oh, I'm going to start with this one because I don't want to start with any others. I absolutely love this new sword, this new talking sword.
Let's talk about the sword.
It's so interesting because it's so obviously...
Yeah.
What? It's so obviously stupid, kind of, because it's like, you got to kill Keyleth, of course nobody's going to do that unless Travis is playing into it like it's actually taking over a little bit.
It's gonna get so. You want to know some lore about this because this sword is in the Taldore handbook.
Oh, it is.
It is an item.
Is your Phantom Power on the mic?
Yes, it is. Why can you?
Do you need it for that mic?
Yes.
You do?
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
Why is it levels too high?
No. Listener said maybe it's a Phantom Power.
Oh.
We have a viewer on Twitch.
Whoa! Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Ooga 5. What's going on?
We have a viewer. Cool. Why? Is it too loud?
No. You're fine. He was just talking about the smell. It might be that.
Oh. Yeah. Could be. Cool.
Thanks, Greg.
Let's talk about the sword.
Yeah. This is actually in the book.
The name is Graz Tachar.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it is so. You want the lowdown on it?
Yeah,
because I know most of it because it's in the book. It's not like it's a secret.
Fill me
as soon as in episode whenever he picked it up at 68, 67. I think it was 67 when they fought the demon and the demon had the sword but wasn't using it and he dropped it. and then
Oh,
Chetney
right,
picked
yeah.
it up.
Oh, right. That's where it came from.
Yeah, it is a
That's making some sense.
highly cursed sword. It is rusted and pitted and is all necrotic and acid damage and all kinds of nastiness. But it has an illusion on it that makes it look like a platinum longsword encrusted with rubies. So it's all an illusion. The sword has a sliver of the demon prince Graz, Graz apostrophe ZT, Graz, the demon prince who died at the hands of King Taldore. And he swore vengeance against the Taldore Council. And that's why this sword wants to kill all members of the Taldore Council.
So it's not just Keyleth.
No, he wants to kill all of them. That's
so funny.
Yeah, it's a sentient sword with a sliver of the soul of a demon prince who died in this place in the Umber Hills, and the sword it's got charm effects. So it is sentient and it can charm the holder.
Was this
Matt hasn't played
addressed
that
in the
yet.
episode?
No. This is lore. Like you have to dig this up.
Right. Because I mean, the way Travis is playing it is excellent. Because he's acting like
fun,
he's
right?
being charmed by it, like the other swords.
A little bit. So there's a weird thing, right? Like this is his third sentient sword.
Yeah, 3 for 3.
3 for 3. So the first one was Grog, who was a dummy. The second one was Ford, who was not super intelligent, and now Chetney is slightly smarter. So he's gone up a little bit, right?
Oh, that's right.
And he's playing it very much like that, but he's also playing it a bit. So there's the intelligence part is, for me, for this with Chetney, the RP is that he's playing the sword for a fool, or he's playing a fool for the sword. Either way works.
It, like I might attack Keyleth, guys. Like,
yeah,
because
but
it's so ridiculous.
There's this is a fun way. He's playing this one very, very differently, which I like a lot. I think it's really clever, which makes sense because Chetney is old and clever.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But it is an evil sword and it is cursed, and it will, if it decides to charm Chetney, I think it's a very low DC. I think the DC is like 13 or something. It's quite low. Now, who knows? Like Matt might change that. But
everything else
doubtful.
is, made up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like this is something. I'm just going to say this because I'm going to bring it back. It's been something we've said for a lot. We've been saying over and over and over again. But Matt made it at the San Diego Comic-Con at the panel, the Critical Role panel. He brought this up, and this one really resonated with me. I want to talk to you quickly about this. Matt said this on the panel. He was like, I am not playing this game, or I'm not making this world. I'm not DMing for the audience. I am DMing for the players. This is for them. 100% for them. I'm so ecstatic, and I love you all, and I'm so happy and blessed that I can do this for. I'm paraphrasing. I can do this for all of you, but I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for them. So that to me just sort of reaffirms things like this. Like, yeah, he'll publish a guide, the Taldore Reborn handbook, whatever, and it's got the sword in it, but that doesn't mean that he has to follow those rules.
Right.
Like there's another moment. Do you mind if I end this one?
Go for it, man.
So there's another moment in this episode where, right at the end, the very end, where is it here?
69.
69. When Shithead attacks.
Right.
And
That's right.
Yeah, wonderful bit of cathartic weirdness going on there. But for the very first time, FCG turns undead, right? And destroys undead because they're level 10, and Shithead is a CR under 1 or CR 1, and now he destroys undead at CR 1. There was the whole discussion about would Laudna get destroyed. Hollow Ones, which she is, retain all. This is raw. They retain all the effects of undead, but they are not affected by spells that would affect undead, i.e. turn undead or destroy undead. They are not affected by that. They retain enough of their life that they do not get affected by that. And Matt was like, yeah, no, you could be turned by the undead. And even Laudna or Marisha was saying, no, I'm affected by undead things. Yes, but you're not affected by spells that affect undead. So it's one of those raw, no. In their world, maybe.
They're making everything else up.
Sure. So that's sort of my point, is that, like, yes, you can say that they're still playing by the rules, the mechanics of 5th edition, but they're doing their own thing and having fun themselves. So let them have fun.
What would a challenge rating of one of these players be at this point?
They don't. The D&D isn't built. 5th edition isn't built for PvP. It's not. So they don't have challenge ratings. They just are player. They're player characters. They're PCs.
It wouldn't be one. I mean,
no,
right?
it would be
those silly skeletons are one. So
they don't have a challenge rating. It doesn't work that way. This is why, like, high CR like vampires and the CR like 7, 8, 9. When you get up into the really high level CRs, they have legendary resistances and legendary actions because to balance against a party, because the party is way too powerful. It's that whole thing about how many chickens could kill a T-Rex. I mean, enough. It's a big number, but a few hundred chickens absolutely could kill a T-Rex. It's just, that's the rule. So, like, a bunch of players can take a bunch of level 1, an army of level 1 characters could take out a lich. That's just what it could happen. Could take on the Smog, an ancient dragon.
That'd be fun to watch.
Happen. Yeah, there would be a
like
lot of murder, but it would happen eventually.
Yeah, level 1 characters.
So that's why PCs don't have. It's not built for PvP. So it just mechanically wise, they don't have CRs. They just are player characters. The game is built for the players to be working together, not against each other.
Right. Yeah.
All you players out there, if you encounter a DM who's making a PvP, think about getting up and walking away. Leave that table.
You heard it here first, folks.
You hear it here a million. Everybody talks about that.
Is that the yes and? Are we rolling again?
That's my yes and. Let's do it.
Okay. Let's do this. I'm going to win all of them this time, I'm sure.
13.
8.
Hey.
Or is that an infinity?
It's definitely infinity. I want to talk real quick about the new outfits because we got we got some. Well, no, listen, man. Like that was a big deal, right? A few episodes ago. Oh yeah, that's what I want to talk about.
Nice.
So a few episodes ago, when they finally got reunited, the who was it? The Team Wildmount. Team Wildmount got all of their. They had a good time. They went to Uthadurn and they got a bunch of clothes and they went shopping and they had a great. They had some fun. They
befriended a bull.
Yeah, they befriended a beast thing, a celestial beast thing, and it was all fun and games. And the other guys got shit on. So it was a big deal that Orem and Ashton got some new clothes. And the art is sick. Yeah. You need to go take a look at this. Ashton's new outfit. Like, I'm not a fashion dude. I barely have sleeves. So yeah, exactly. The vest. The vest. The trench coat. He got a sleeveless trench coat.
Yeah.
With that he called it a corset. It was a wonderful, fun little touch there. The corset that he got with the shimmering blue Hishari symbol the tall boots with the brass buckles, and he's got the hammer, and he's got all this new gear. He's looking hero-like, and that goes along with the new mentality that he has, where it's cool. Ashton is turning a corner here. Even though right away at the very beginning of the episode when he leaves and he's like, I'm going to have a 5-minute panic attack outside, and then some interesting stuff happened there.
Yeah, that really felt out of place for me.
A little bit.
Yeah, I didn't see that fitting.
The panic attack or the
panic attack. It was just like, what? Like that's a Taliesin thing, not an Ashton thing. It seems.
Yeah, it might be a both thing.
Yeah, but like, why put it there? I don't know. I've watched it twice.
I think it's
just unnecessary.
Maybe. Although there was a little. Sorry, I'm going to tangent off on that for a quick little minute. Why did Matt describe that the stones were bouncing to his heartbeat?
I
You
missed
catch
this
that?
part. No, I didn't catch
So
that.
he's like, when you're having, he's like, when you're having this panic attack, you can feel your
Matthew's
heartbeat,
response. Yeah.
and you're like, you notice that the stones were bouncing around you. I have a quick little question about that. I don't know what that means. Is this him sort of integrating this Titan blood thing that he's got going on?
Right. And I don't know, maybe this out of nowhere panic attack, maybe it was actually coming from a discussion that the two of them
Could
had.
be. Could be.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah,
I just tossed it aside. I didn't care for
I
it.
wonder. They don't do things with no reason, so there might be a reason behind this. I don't know. But then going on to Orum's new armor, the leather one piece. Weird choice, but the art makes it look good. It's
I couldn't help but picture that onesie as like a like a leotard or something.
It isn't. When you look at the art, it's more like what's his name from Avengers, Bucky, with his left arm, I think, or it's the right arm, I forget which arm it is the silver arm. It looks similar to that outfit, where it's sort of like layered leather as opposed to like one piece of leather.
Okay.
It's a leather suit, but it's got segments on it.
Like Jax in Mortal Kombat.
A little bit like that. The art looks sick. The problem with the new art is that his head is like this big, and his body.
Yeah, they keep doing that.
It's weird. It's a little off-putting. You're like, why? The perspective is wrong.
Yeah.
You can see his head is like, and then the body's way back. It doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Maybe his mom was an alcoholic. She doesn't seem like it.
Dirt.
With Ashton also, he was saying, I don't remember who he was talking to, so many episodes, where he's like some real hero shit, Yeah. And like he's like, yeah, we're gonna go do some stuff. Like he's really kind of turning around here.
Check out that art, because he definitely looks like a hero in that. Like it, and I mean, he even says, he's like, when Fanny Z is like, how do you feel? And he's like, I feel seen, and it's sort of that mentality where he feels like he's actually turning a corner here, and hopefully Taliesin has the wherewithal to play it well, where he is going to be a little bit more of a hero and less of a I was going to say less of a dick, but I think he's still going to be a dick. I think it's just going to be a righteous dick.
What's his charisma? Is it
Low.
low?
Yeah.
Is it like, okay. Is it like,
I forget. It's a dump stat. He's a barbarian. It's always a dump stat.
I think it was 5 or something, wasn't it?
It's not quite that low. I think it's like 8 or 9.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's not. It's average. Like it's normal person.
Normal person charisma. I don't know who you're hanging out with.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's mine. What do you got?
Let's see what I'm gonna bounce back with. I'm gonna stick with this one for right now because I think it works a little bit. Do you think that Liam felt obligated to kind of take the bummer trip to the graves?
I think he's been planning that for a long time.
Yeah, that's kind of how it felt too. But I
talked about it a few episodes ago.
And was that they did? Yeah, on 66 they talked about how he's gonna go back, and I'd love for you to meet my family. Which means some of them are dead.
Oh yeah. No, I think he's planning. This was definitely in the works. Like he'd been thinking. I'm sure when they had first been talking about going back to Zephyra, he was like, oh well, then we're definitely. If I get a chance to go back to Zephyra, I'm definitely going to go see those graves. Like that was definitely there. I don't think he was obligated. I think it's exactly in character.
Sure. Yeah. It was, and that was in 69, right?
Mm-hmm.
That visit.
Yes.
And I was like, everything was going
right at the beginning.
So
right
fun.
At the very beginning.
It was right in the very beginning.
Well, Ashton goes to get his new suit, and then Orum goes to the blacksmith. It's not ready yet, so he goes. Then that's when they go to the grave. They go to Nell's. Then his mother-in-law, and then they have a quick little chat about some stuff, and then they all go to see the graves of Will and Derek.
Right. For some reason, I had remembered. I thought they did all the hang gliding stuff.
No, so that's the 180, right? I don't know if you noticed or not. You're a sound guy. Did you notice the drastic sound change for this scene?
For the somber
Yes.
mood. I mean, I noticed that
Liam,
he was playing this, that kind of music for tender moments or whatever.
they turned the gain up on Liam's mic so much that it sounded like there was a snow machine in the studio.
No,
That
I didn't
all you
notice
could
that. It
hear
was
was
coming from my phone.
that's all you could hear in the background was an idling chainsaw just going just in the back. It sounded like someone was
Oh.
mowing a lawn outdoors. Like that's all you could hear. It was the ACs, obviously, but it's so loud. It was wild.
I had it playing from my phone sitting on my bed.
Yeah,
So
it was so. I was like, what? At one point, I even stopped. I'm like, wait, what the hell is? And then I realized I'm like, oh, because Liam is leaning. Liam was leaning down, and he was away from the mics. And so those overheads, the booms, they cranked the gain, because as soon as the somber moment, as soon as he stops talking to them, it just fades away. All that noise fades, and then they're all back talking again. And then there's the 180 right into "Let's go dogfight." Red Snoopy versus the Red Baron. It was amazing. Straight into Top Gun.
it was great. Unfortunately, the first time I watched that, I did fall asleep
Oh.
before it started. So it came into my dream, and like there was, helicopters running through, and like Matthew was explaining everything. It kind of got in there, and
Weird.
it was kind of like a salvia trip if you've ever done that
Okay.
before. It just felt like a few minutes of this crazy thing, and I woke up. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I had to like rewind the episode. It was kind of funny because I kind of got the visual of it.
That dogfight from the Chetney stealing the sky sail to the bees to the butcher's
Bees.
bib to
He
the
didn't have bees.
just yes,
And the way
in my
she said,
inventory
I
I've
put
got
bees on him, on his face.
That whole scene had me in tears the first time I watched it. It was Friday night. I'm watching it. I'm just like, I was crying. I was laughing so hard. I was crying. And it was such a mood swing because I'm not gonna lie. The somber part with Liam at the with Orem at the graves of his husband and father, and it's just, and I was like misting up. I was like, wow, this is really serious. And then 5 seconds later, I'm actually crying tears of laughter. Like it was crazy funny. I was killing myself. Like, what the fuck are these clowns doing?
The way she phrased that, she's like, "I'm sorry, I paid 20 gold for this, so I throw
Bees!
I put bees on his face." In the motion with the hand, and it's like, and Matthew just let it go, and it's like, what do you mean, like cross bees off your inventory? I
He knew what Laudna was doing. Like, I mean, the DMs should really be very aware. Like when I'm DMing one of my characters is like, I'm going to do this, and I'm like, oh, I know exactly what that is. And the other guys at the table are like, you're doing what? What does that mean? And then then I'm like, well, I know what that means because that's what the player can do. Like, I'm in tune with their abilities and stuff. So I knew instantly. Matt was like, yeah, that's what she's got infestation. It's an insect swarm.
That's why she said infestation.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I still have no idea what the hell was going on.
Yeah. It's either a warlock or a sorcerer spell. It might be
Put bees
both.
on his face.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I didn't know that was just something she could do.
Yeah, it's like insect swarm. I think clerics call it insect swarm, and I think it's the opposite is infestation with a. It's whatever. It's like it's just one of those
Hilarious,
things.
though.
Yep. Yeah, it was so good, man. That 180 from the so sad to ridiculous.
The trust at the table, they're like, let's go hang gliding or something.
Yeah.
And then Matthew's just sitting there like, I guess they're going hang gliding, and then he's he's right there with them,
The fact that the golden gods and the keyfish thing came up a couple of times as they were dropping, I was like, whoa, this is so on point with Keyleth being right there. Because it would have been bad if he had failed those. I mean, Laudna was there. Imogen was there to flying down to maybe help out, but oof, it could have got bad. Could have gone bad. And they were really just laughing it up, much like Marisha was laughing it up when she's like, I turn into a goldfish. That whole idea, right? It's the same. You could see Matt. I could see him sort of like he's got one more chance here, and then there's going to be some. It's going to get a little finicky because if you fail some dice, it's going to be bad.
Right? Yeah,
It's
you're
a
up
lot
in the
of.
air.
He said he was like hundreds and hundreds of feet up. This is, we're talking every 10 feet is a 1d6, so that's a couple hundred d6. Ooh.
Yeah, but I mean, Laudna's got Featherfall. But if
Yeah.
Chetney's by himself, then
Does
what are you gonna
Laudna
do?
have Featherfall? Laudna has Featherfall.
Yeah. Isn't that what I
Does
said?
Imogen? Imogen was right there. She was the safety harness, the safety net. So I don't know. Anyway,
Speaking of
good.
Laura,
So,
about the sword from before.
Yeah.
She started to bother me again.
I know. Me too.
She's sitting there and like he's
There's-
communicating with the sword, and she's like, Chetney, what are you doing?
I know,
And it's
I
like,
know.
shut up, Laura. You don't know. This is not strange behavior.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely I know. There's two things going on there, right? There's Laura edging into metagaming, and then it's also Laura looking at her husband, going, "Hey, dear, what are you doing?" So there's a little
Don't
bit of
do
both.
this, husband.
Yeah, there's a little bit of both of that going on there. It's listen, man. In all honesty, both ways you look at it, it's passion for the game. So it's okay. She's wrapped up in it so much that she wants only good for the players and the cast.
And she wants all information right now. As always.
It's being so into the game that you kind of forget it's a game.
Yeah,
and
it comes from a good place. Yes.
Right, exactly. It's exactly. And there's nothing really wrong with it because there is the thing where Imogen can read thoughts, right? And she's
right.
There's a little bit of like is she able to though? Can you interfere into conversations that other people are having telepathically with a sentient object? I don't know.
It's not just automatic though, right? I mean, like right now, didn't everything go kind of quiet after the solstice?
She's wearing that
that's what it is.
Tiara.
Yeah.
That cuts the noise. So that's a big deal, right?
But she can still get in there and read thoughts, but
absolutely.
she would have to have a reason to, which she doesn't. Not really.
No, but there is a thing I think with
Laura.
You could make an argument saying that because Imogen isn't able to hear all the noise, that it is filtered out a little bit. She's a little bit more tuned into what other people are doing as a result of that. It's sort of like if you suddenly gave Daredevil sight, he would be looking around like a fucking madman at everything and be able to really key in on everything as opposed to just using his ears. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's sort of a you give somebody a sense that they didn't have and suddenly they're going to be using it all the time. So you never know. I don't know. There's a little bit of benefit of the doubt there.
Yeah,
like to think
and it
that
could be
she's
retconned as such, if she's like, can I say last episode I was reading his thoughts every now and then because I'm just doing it every now and then?
But that's exactly what Sam just did right after that, where Sam was like, yeah, no, I'm there, I'm listening, I'm reading thought, or what's the spell?
Detect thoughts.
Detect thoughts. Thank you. I detect thoughts on both of them, and then they all laughed about it, and it was all a little fun little moment. But
but
you're right.
Detect thoughts on the sword, though, right?
Maybe.
I thought Matthew said you don't. There's no. It's a sword. It's an object, not a person.
Right.
It's a curse
right. He did say that. Yeah, that was a thing that happened. I'm not sure. Again, I don't know. That's one of those things that as a DM you get to sort of interpret. Can you? Like when FCG wanted to identify shithead. It's like you can't identify a bird. It's not an object.
Right.
It's like, well, isn't it when it's dead? Like, can you?
Yeah.
At
what point does it turn into an object?
Are you an object when you die, or are you still a being? I don't know.
I mean, I know my answer. Sure, I'm an object.
Yeah.
Treat me like one. It's fine. I'm fine with it.
As long as you have trust in the DM and the players, it's all good.
I get treated like an object all the time.
We rolling?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Let's go back and forth a little bit here with an old tome.
Hey, that's nice. I got a 14.
I got right next to the 14.
Yep.
Little net 20
right.
there. Okay.
I got a one right next to the 20.
All right, I don't have a whole lot left here. I've just got some funny things, not like, some things that I liked in the
Mm-hmm.
show. But before I get into that, I suppose when Laudna was kind of protecting Imogen when she fell during that big fight with that thing before when the thing that had the sword, I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Yep.
she was like wanted to push her off the edge and feather fall him, right? So
Yeah.
it was around there
Hell of
somewhere,
a
I
set,
think.
man. That was a great set.
Yeah,
Holy
that thing was
man.
gorgeous. The
So good.
multi-tiers and when the
so good.
WizKids cam got in there, like that
Yep.
was that you could
Yep.
really see how impressive it
Yeah,
was.
it's so cool. Went in a couple of times too because he kept introducing new bad guys and new
Yeah.
minis. As the cam comes in, and you're like, wow, epic stuff, epic build.
Super good.
Sam did a short in Matt's map room where on YouTube where he actually sings a ballad of the map room and it's all sorry I didn't mean to interrupt you here but
No, it's fine.
it's all of the drawers like it's a whole wall his map room is a whole wall of just drawers and they're all labeled and all he did was sing a song using all of the labels as the lyrics. Go check it out. It made me laugh.
I gotta write
Man,
that
it was
down.
funny. It was so good. It's just a camera focused on the drawers, and that's all you see. And he's just moving from drawer to drawer to drawer to drawer, singing with the labels as the lyrics.
Man, I got to get the Comic Con. I got to get Sam's
Yeah.
map song. Just everything is content.
It's so
apparently.
good. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
Oh, quick question. I guess because you're knowledgeable on these kinds of things. Is there an
know
interpose
something.
action?
No, that was a mistake. Huge mistake.
Because
Yep.
okay, so.
So
It struck me as kind of strange because I know
You're
that
talking
Orem
about-
as a fighter, he can like, I don't think it's interposing, but
wait, what are we talking about here? Sorry, I might be thinking about the wrong thing.
is there an interpose action? Like, can any character? There's the dodge action. There's there's a sprint
Sorry, I
action
was
or whatever.
So I was because in that episode, Matt made a couple of very big mistakes
In that fight there?
using a. There was sorry, I was thinking about something completely different because it was. I thought that's what you were going to ask. Interpose as an action. What does that mean?
Yeah, because like a Big B's hand, it
Yep.
can put itself between Scanlan and enemies, right?
Oh, that's a very good. I don't know.
Like I was wondering if
don't
any
think
character can just
so.
be like, nope, you can't target this person. You're going to target me instead. Like,
No, I think that is specifically a fighter, a battle maneuver.
and even
where
then,
they-
it's not interposing. He just
No,
gives
you're
them
bait and
AC or
switch.
something, right?
Well, it's bait and switch, and then when you do the bait and switch, the fighter gets to roll a superiority die, which means like when Orem flavors it or Liam flavors it as Orem putting his shield up to protect and to give a 8 more AC onto the player behind.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah,
that's
so
that's
it's
the-
not interposing either. It's just a
No,
higher
it's
AC
not.
for them. That's it.
Yes, what you're doing is you're putting yourself in their place. So any player can do that if there's space, but you can't end your turn occupying another character's space. You can move through a character. You can't move through an enemy combatant, except there's feats there's stuff that does allow it sometimes. And like I think halflings can do it because they can duck between legs and stuff if they roll acrobatics checks and stuff. I forget. There's all kinds of little things. But no, there's no like actual way to do that, like for just a normal character to do it.
Okay. So like so when she's doing that, she's just asking Matthew. It's like I'm doing this because that's what Laudna would do, but and hopefully maybe you'll attack me instead of her if it
Right.
comes up.
And then there's another moment in that same thing where I remember. Sorry, now I remember what you're talking about. That's right. I do remember that moment. That's up at the very top when they're just at the cage. Yeah, I remember. Because there's another moment that right before that where Ashton is trying to do a similar thing, where he's like trying to get over to protect Imogen and Laudna both. And he runs over, and as he leaves the demon's combat range, then Matt is like, well, he's going to try as you leave. He's going to take his attack of opportunity and try to grapple you to stop you.
Mm-hmm.
Totally against the rules.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
I think I messaged you about this one actually, and I was like,
yeah,
this was
said,
a rare
2 mistakes.
Yeah, this was a big this is a big one because this really turned the battle. It specifically says in the rule book that grapple must be an action. To grapple, it requires an action. You can grapple twice as an attack action. So if you have multi-attack, you can grapple and then grapple again if you have 2 attacks. But it is an attack action, not a reaction. Specifically, not a reaction. This is important because it really would be OP if you could just reach out and grab people. I mean, that's what Sentinel is for.
Yeah, that's exactly
right?
what Sentinel is. Yeah,
Sentinel,
that's a feat.
You take a feat in replace of ability score improvement. So it costs you something to be able to do that. If any character could just grapple as a reaction, it would fuck up the mechanics of the game. So I was kind of surprised, Matt, that Matt did that. It struck me as a little bit unfair. But whatever.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
When I see little things like that, a lot of times it just goes over my head. But that one did seem a little bit strange because I was like, nobody has Sentinel like that.
No,
that shouldn't work.
Well, it's one of those things where Matt, even when in campaign 2, when Yasha and Bo were constantly dropping Sentinel, they both took it, and it was just like they made that rule where they said Sentinel can't bounce off of each other because. Yeah. Fuck yeah, of course not. That's so dumb.
You can't triple stamp and double stamp.
Right. It's brutal. So like that's not a real rule, by the way. That's a homebrew thing that I think every DM should adopt. It's just unfair otherwise because you're just going to be it's just cheesing the game, and it's not
it kind of
makes
breaks
it,
doesn't it?
It just cheeses it. It makes it weird. I mean, he constantly said like same with the counterspell. He's like, I can't wait to play wizard so I can counterspell you. I can't wait to be able to have some characters that play Sentinel, and I can't wait to run some monks against you guys, and blah blah blah, all these things. So it's like yeah. 5e is a little bit one-sided that way. Players do have a much higher advantage against the DM, even when there's multiples. It's the way the game was built. The game theory says that the players are the heroes. And so they're built as heroes, and they should have all slightly better advantage. It's not Vegas. The house doesn't win in this one.
Yeah, I've actually got a couple of things I want to ask you about that, but I'll do that off mic.
Sure.
Because we gotta probably wrap pretty soon here, but I still have a couple more points here.
I do too.
Nothing too heavy.
Should we do a rollie, or because I think I'll take my yes end on that one as that.
Sure. Let's roll again.
I like natural 20.
With a 4.
I got my little natural 20.
With your weighted die.
Yeah, it might be. No, I've actually used this one in the saltwater. It's good. I think. No, I want to talk about on that note about talking about DMs doing shit. One of my buddies a while ago, he told me, we were chatting about it, I was like, saying, he was asking me like, you watch a lot of that show, don't you? I'm like, fuck, dude, you have no idea how much I watch ridiculous amounts of it. I'm over 1,000, well over 1,000 hours now, well over.
Easily.
It's easy. So it's a lot of time watching D&D. It's crazy. But there are moments, and he said to me, he's like, it must make your playing the game much better, and 100% it does. And this is one of those moments that I'm taking note, where at the very end of the first half, right before the break, when they're at the Airy Irie, and they're getting drunk, nice and drunk, and Laudna walks off to the cliff and sits at the edge of the cliff there and starts calling Delilah.
Right.
At 2:09:35.
Timestamp gift.
She's like, hello, Delilah, are you there? Like this nice little wonderful moment of her. Okay, nothing, and Matt's just watching.
That was a long silence right there.
Imogen comes over and they have a nice little conversation, and they laugh at Delilah. Delilah, you're useless. You hear that? And it's like, I look right at you. Ah. They have that fun little moment. So that she first calls Delilah at 2:09:35. At 2:18:48, a full 9+ minutes later, Matt says, "You hear that little voice in the back of your head? No matter who you pray to, no matter who you reach for, you are and always will be mine."
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we're gonna go to break. That was one of those DM moments where I was like, holy fucking play the long game.
Yeah.
Like, keep the players. Don't blow it. Don't pop that cork too quickly. Let it ferment. Let it boil. Let it bubble and brew, and then right when they think
Just
they're
the right
safe,
amount of time.
drop it on them.
Don't overbrew it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's time to take it out.
Such a good moment, man. I loved that so much. Just the patience. Because I was thinking about it. I was like, he's going to say it. Oh, he's not going to say it. Because we all know, everybody knows Delilah's there. Even Marisha knows Delilah's there. She knows it. He's like, no, she has to be there. They didn't kill her. There was some weird little version of her when Pike sent them into that, wherever it was, into the Shadow Realm or wherever the fuck, who knows where that was. They didn't kill her. It was just some weird version of Delilah. 100% she's still there.
Yeah. And one thing that Matthew used to do, I don't think he's done it so much in this campaign or had a reason to. Well, yeah, I guess so. But maybe he stopped for the same reason. I know you're watching, Matthew. Is like when somebody would like send a message or something, he would say like, a moment passes.
Yeah.
10 seconds pass, and anytime he says that, I know there's going to be a
something's
response.
coming.
You just don't know how long it's going to be.
He's done it before where it's like a moment passes. 5 moments pass, 10 seconds, a minute.
Yeah, like once or twice
response.
though, right?
No response. Yeah. Only once or twice. You're right.
Like when you with something like the rock at the tree, at the Palor tree or whatever the fuck it was, in campaign 2, where Jester wears the leaf costume.
Oh, the Wild Mother's gift. What was it? The the giant big tree in the wastes.
The big old tree in the middle of
Badlands. What was that place called? The Waste, the Jorhassian Wastes?
Nope, I don't remember.
Barbed Fields.
Barbed Fields. There you go.
Yes.
Nice job. Nice
and what was the Tree of Life? The Tree of...
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But
names.
When with the rock and like the sound, or maybe there's a dragon or something like that, and then like Matthew waits a second, and he's going to do something, and then he's like, he makes the noise after that. Still scares the shit out of Sam every time, but I'm not noticing a whole lot of that from Matthew anymore.
Exemplar. Arbor Exemplar.
Yeah, I'm not noticing so many tells from Matthew in this one anymore.
No. Nope.
That was yours, right?
That was my 20. Yeah, almost like he's getting better at playing this game.
Almost. You would think with experience. All right. Well, I've just got 2 evergreen things. We should probably wrap up pretty soon.
Yeah,
anyway,
go. Yeah, we're at an hour here.
Something that went under the radar, maybe yours too. Let's find out. But on the at the table, it seemed to go completely unnoticed. Was when they first visit Keyleth. Oh. Like when she's
I thought you were going to say Sam's shirt.
What was up with his shirt?
Nobody knows because it went this last episode. He wore somebody's shirt, like a picture on his shirt. Somebody was on that shirt, but nobody said a word. Weird one. Very weird. He was actually like puffing it up and doing like this, and like it was a photo of one of the cast members. I have no idea who. Nobody knows who it was because nobody owned up to it. Nobody even noticed it. Anyway, go on.
Oh, and did he have a jug gag?
Yeah, it was Orum's family tree for this last one. He said he has one every single time. The last episode was the best. It was the
brothers, sisters,
trashy
you married your brother.
Yeah. Yeah, this was the trashy romance one, the infernal something. Yeah.
Oh, like a romance novel.
It was a fern, the infernal something. Yeah.
Nice. Well, speaking of Sam, when they first go and see the Tempest, I believe it's the very first time when she's still all cut up and injured and shit.
Yep.
Speaking of which, just all kinds of side points. At that time when they're having this conversation with her, we were supposed to remember that she looked horrendous. That's what Matthew said. It was like, she looks insanely awful.
Yep.
This whole time. And like they're just having a conversation, and I'm like, "Oh, that's right. She's all not really bloodied up, but
not bleeding, but open wounds that aren't bleeding.
Horrendous, like things across her face, and just she's just smiling through it and talking through it. And I'm like, forcing myself to remember that that this is a very uncomfortable conversation because of the way she looks, you know. But anyway, that's a side point. When they first just went to see her, Orem, you know, bows, takes a knee, and I think it was Imogen that said it second. And then really quickly, kind of hidden in there, FCG or Sam says, I try to do that too, but I don't really have legs, so I just kind of fall down.
Fall down, yeah.
And the image of that is just like...
Yeah, it's just straight up like supplicant. You're now face first.
Yeah, very gentle face plant, you know, kind of dick arming on the ground. And nobody reacted to it. I was crying. I was just picturing that little...
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know if you got that or not either, but that was a hilarious moment.
I did. It made me giggle. I was like, how's he gonna kneel? Oh yeah, just fall in his face.
Yeah.
Right.
I think he's figuring that out too. And he's like, I follow suit, but I don't have any legs, so I guess I just fall down.
Yep.
It's just like they're just being so respectful and just, are you okay, FCG? Oh, that's it though. That was just a funny moment that I hope you caught.
Yep. I do catch most of those because I'm usually paying pretty good attention to it. Usually.
Was that my yes and?
Yes, it was.
Let's okay. I got two out in one little spot there.
Cool. You want to do one more
here? I got
one more.
Yeah.
Just one more.
I'm sure I can find there. Boom with a 7.
11. Hey. 7-11.
That made me hungry.
Okay. Shithead.
Bring it.
Gargo.
We got some lore here?
No.
Oh.
I'm asking you. I wonder. So he's been calling this the manifestation of his guilt.
Yeah.
Right? But Matt gave it a name. So is this the pet of someone that FCG killed?
Oh.
It's just a thought. Could it be? Like, he's like, my master called me Gargo. Did he? I don't even know. It was like some weird random little thing. This is a memory. Is there going to be something where it's like, no, you're a murder bot, so you did kill somebody, and they had a pet bird, and this bird is
the last thing they did before they died. It's just like, okay, your life is now devoted to this. They killed the bird and you're like, all right, come on back now. That's your purpose. That makes sense. You know?
I don't know. Otherwise, I don't really know where any of it comes from. I mean,
the
now
motivation
it's gone.
has to be there. I think that's a good assessment. I think you're probably right.
Maybe. Wonder if we'll ever find out. We might. There might be a campaign wrap-up thing. Shithead might never come up again until the campaign wrap-up, and then Sam drops it. Or maybe not.
Yeah. I mean, unless somebody asks him, maybe we should get on the Tower of Inquiry or something like that.
Yeah, let's send a thing in.
What was I going to say?
That's my last one, because that happens right at the very end, and then now they're ambassadors, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I love how Matthew just plays shithead, you know?
Yep.
He's like, because they already had that exchange once before, and they're like, what's the problem? He's like, I just hate him. I just don't like him. You know, I hate his stupid face. Just a bad person.
Yep. But why? What's the look on that face? Is this just what Sam wrote into this character's backstory, or is there actually something? Is there some lore?
Well, you know what Matthew does. I'm sure Sam just put that in there for some reason, or maybe not. He does it with all his characters, and Matthew usually takes it somewhere.
And then Matt gets to run with it. Or Sam did say that, I probably killed somebody, and they probably sent their bird after me, and now this bird is the manifestation of my guilt, and so I'm scared of birds. Who knows?
Wonder if he's going to feel guilty now that he's killed his guilt. His reminder of guilt. That sounds like an FCG thing. Like, maybe it's a good idea to have something remind you of your guilty past.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely. That is. You're right. That's definitely something that. I mean, that is the manifestation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he likes
Yeah.
guilt.
It is weird though that he hasn't done any turn undead. They haven't really fought any undead yet, but
Really
even
come up.
they did when in the Umber Hills when they first there were those little zombie things that were were fighting. So it has come up.
Was that
recently.
before level 10?
Oh yeah. This is only a couple episodes ago.
Okay, and then turn undead still.
They get turn
works.
they get turn undead at like level 3 or 2, something like that. Clerics get it early. It's
kill undead. What's it called?
Destroy undead is level 5, I think.
Right.
And then it's at level 5, it's like CR half. And then at level 10, it's 8, I think, or 9 is CR1.
Okay.
It's like every few levels it goes up by 1 point or something like that. I don't think it ever goes above like 2 or 3 though. I don't think you can. They don't want you to be able to just walk up like a 20th level cleric, walk up to a vampire and just destroy. Mm-hmm. That's not fair. That's no fun.
Yeah. Am I following up?
Yeah. No, I am. Yes. No, that was me. Yeah, you're up. Last point.
With the perennium flower, what is this? They had so many names for it.
So many names.
So many names. It was fun watching Matthew. It was kind of like a game, like guessing when he understood what was going on.
Yep.
Because he didn't get it right away. I don't think he understood that he had said that he didn't know. I don't think he knew what perennium was. Or perineum, or however people want to say it, Yes. Because immediately, like, Laura looks over at, like, Sam.
Yep.
Sam's like, did he mean to say that? And then Matthew's kind of looking around like, why are they laughing?
Why are they laughing? Yeah.
And like playing it cool, And then they start making jokes. And I don't know if he understood why they were making these jokes.
Maybe.
And then he started writing things down, but I was like, I couldn't really tell like when he got it. Because he was like, it usually comes from cursed lands. And Sam says like, oh, I bet. Or yeah, of course, Matthew's like, everybody's laughing at something. I don't know what it is. What did I do? And it was only at the break when he said, like, well, I was supposed to say this, but now this is canon. It's a perennium flower. Or perennium flower. I think he meant to say perennial, right? Isn't
it's a penna flower. Fuck, what is it called? The
taint brush.
The taint brush. Perennium.
Yeah, so I watched it twice, and I couldn't really tell if he knew until like way later or not.
Perennem.
Perennem.
Perennem. Perennem.
It's just so close. They might as well call it perennium anyway.
The blue perennium flower. Perennium flower.
Is that in the guide or did he make this up?
No, he made it up. Okay. Yeah, it's not real.
Perennium.
The blue perennium flower.
It's his
I'm
own
sure
doing.
It's again one of those things where he's just like probably just writing down names. Like, we're going to call it this the blue perennium. Sure, why not? And he's not even thinking that it sounds very close to perennium. They're all assholes, man. They're like they're still. There's so many, man.
Like when they look at each other, like, isn't that? I mean, yeah, it is that. Yeah. Did he misspeak? That was pretty funny. Hilarious moment. Was that in '69 also?
No, that was like
that was way before.
That was way before. That was when they first learned about the flower.
66, right?
Yeah, something 66 or 67. Yeah.
The description after that was just funny because everybody's thinking perennium, and then I don't remember exactly the jokes, but it was just
there was so many.
Going. It was great.
So many. Sam had a whole list.
And again, I don't think
that would have been
67.
Right, that would have been 67 because I think they did it the first episode, and then I think they came prepared the next episode with a whole ton of names. Because it was the one with the battle, because he kept writing down, and he even says at one point, he's like, yeah, I just kept adding temporary hit points to the boss. Yeah. It's like they just keep getting more hit points, more hit points, more hit points.
I think he did it. I think he actually
I think he did too.
Because that thing had a lot of hit points.
That's another note for aspiring DMs. If your players start fucking with you, start giving bosses more temporary hit points.
Yeah, and like
just
Imogen could have died because of their joking.
Sure,
sure,
and rightfully so.
In there, not in the moment, but
it's that from way back in like first edition or second edition, maybe even first edition, like Rocks Fall, you all die.
Yeah,
he's
using that reference quite a bit though.
That's the ancient way back when joke is that was the DM's out. Yeah. It's Rocks Fall, you all die.
Rocks fall.
That's it.
Everybody dies. Yeah. Imagine. I wonder how Matthew would feel like if all these temporary hit points, then Imogen does die.
They did it to themselves.
Then Matthew at the end of the episode
I
is like,
wouldn't
and
feel
that's what
bad.
we'll pick up next week. By the way, this thing would have been dead if you guys didn't fuck with me,
Yeah. Yeah.
but had extra hit points, and now Imogen's dead. What do you think? I wonder if he would do that, or if he'd be lenient with them. He might look at the hit points and be like, all right, how do you want to do this?
I think the sorcerer needs to stop getting into combat with other things. I think the two sorcerers are snipers and need to get the fuck away. Let Ashton and Oram be frontline. Even Fern should be more up front line than they should be. They should be way back at the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Stop running into danger. Yep.
And if Imogen dies, what are we going to do with campaign 3?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, are we just going to bring her back like we did with Laudna,
That's player agency, right? You never want to kill. Even when a player dies, there's so many ways to bring them back. It's just the way it is.
Well, I mean, except maybe these days after the solstice.
Yep, it's true. It's true. I wonder when Matt's going to lift the ban on sending and other things.
Yeah, it seems like it's lifting up like slowly, right? Or maybe there's some things that we just don't know about.
Yeah,
allow it.
Definitely.
I wonder how it will work on the moon.
I wonder if it's permanent because Ruidus is always there, or if it's as the solstice fades, it goes away, or if it's because Ruidus is so close. And why would Ruidus have a thing? I mean, are we gonna? I love that moment in this episode when at near the end when it where is it? It's the after the break, they go back to Keelik, and Keelik, she proposes for them to go do a spy on the moon. That's a thing that happened in this, where she actually said, maybe you could go to the moon. I can get you there. Or now that you've told me that there's an ecology there might be trees. She might be able to transport them there, or maybe they can teleport there with that staff.
She has to know where the tree is, though, right?
Yeah, but
she's Keelik. She can do whatever she wants.
Maybe.
Good night,
or
Craig.
it's Matt's world. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
If it's fun, why not? Maybe there's a chance they don't make it. Maybe there's a chance they do.
I'm wondering. What was I wondering? I'm wondering if there's anything deteriorating that's keeping Ruidus right there, and the beam going up to it.
Yeah.
If anything's like holding strong, and then it's actually getting weaker to hold.
Yeah, getting weaker
place.
and weaker, and eventually it's going to break out, or maybe the opposite. Maybe it's getting stronger and stronger, and it's going to pull it in.
Yeah, just destroy Exandria.
Sure, why not?
That frisbee disc of a world.
Yep. Just punch a hole right through it.
Yeah, just make it a donut.
It's just paper, right? It just was like this thick.
Yeah, What's on the bottom? Nobody cares.
Yep. Monsters. There be monsters.
Man, so I got to catch the Comic-Con, and I got to catch Sam's map room song.
Yep.
So I've got some things to do before I. 10,
yeah,
15.
the panel on Critical Role was quite good. It was really good questions, really good cosplay outfits by the fans. Great stuff. It was a fun one to watch. I really enjoyed that one.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good one to watch.
That's good to know because finally on Four-Sided Dive they did address the silly question issue. It's like, if you were a chair, what kind of wood would you be made of?
Yeah,
Who gives a shit? You're just trying to get your stuff on online.
Yep.
But they mocked it as much as I do. And I'm like, okay, good.
I think we have one more episode. This is a weird month. There's 5 Thursdays in this month.
Right. Yeah.
So we might. This might be the first month we actually get 4 episodes. So they haven't said anything yet, but I believe we still have one in a couple of days. We'll find out tomorrow. They send out the newsletter tomorrow. The Candela Obscura Part 2 comes out tomorrow. At the end of the month, on the 31st. We'll find out tomorrow when they send the newsletter out to everybody. That we'll find out when this next episode, if there's another episode. But they haven't said anything yet, so I'm assuming that there is one, which gives us 4 episodes this month. Kind of cool.
It's a lot to do.
Yep. Hey, buddy, it's late. Let's call this.
All right, sounds good. Oh, boy, how do we do this? It's been a long time.
Been a long time.
Let's see. You can find Ben at bengreenspoon on all socials. You can find me as drummatucka on Instagram. It's all information down there. If we are talking bullshit or if you have something to add, best way to get in touch is right down there in the comments.
Hey. Comments.
And
Please,
usually we like to respond to those comments in the following episode.
Yep.
And that's usually on Ben because I always forget.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Check out
we got some
album.
some other
it's on
news.
Spotify, all streaming platforms, the ShapeMaster, all the shapes. Check that out for us if you wouldn't mind.
Yep.
Am I forgetting anything, Ben?
Yeah, we may be getting on some more platforms soon. There's a chance. We got something in the works.
Yeah.
So it might not be just YouTube.
Be YouTube. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hey, jinx. Cool. So stay tuned for that.
Stay turned for that.
Stay turned. Man, can they? When Travis said that at the table, did that make an awkward moment because of the source of turnt?
Yeah, maybe.
I was watching Ashley after he said it, and she didn't seem to.
Yeah, I don't think they care.
He was still a funny guy,
I know, man. It's such a shame, but it rightfully so. I mean, hey, man, you make everybody. Those kind of mistakes are big mistakes. Anyway,
especially with our girl, But we're not going to talk about that.
Nope.
All right, well then, dude, let's end this meow right here, meow. If nothing else, hey everybody, don't forget to love each other. And is it finally Friday? Peace, everybody.
Peace.